These green scars right here, they represent the woman of the world. They represent the woman in Colombia who on February 21st, they decriminalized abortion. That's right. Because of what they did in the streets. Because they did not back down in the face of Christian fascist violence against women. This is for the woman in Mexico who stood up against feminicida, which is murder of women. This is for the women in Poland who are still fighting, They have not won the right to abortion yet, but they're still in the streets. And we're fighting for them too. And this is for the women in Iran, who I want to introduce our next speaker. Her name is Lawdan Bazargan. She is a former political prisoner in Iran. She is a family member of victims of the 1988 massacre of Iran's political prisoners and a human rights activist. In addition to delivering her own message, she will read a statement from Ocean/Revolt, which is the voice of the women's rebellion to express the determination and to serve the struggle against the Islamic Republic. So give it up for Lawdan.
Hello everyone, happy Women's Day. Iranian women go to jail for celebrating this day, for thank you for being here to be the voice of all of us. I was 9 years old when the Islamists took power in Iran. Suddenly our lives turned upside down. Women became second-hand citizens and were forced to cover themselves in long dresses and cover their heads with a veil. Men were given the right to have 4 wives. The value of the women's testimony in the courts became half of the men's. The women's inheritance was cut in half compared to what their brothers received, and women lost their child custody rights. Women can't travel without their father or their husband's written permission. Our schools, universities, buses, parks, and offices became gender segregated. Abortion and birth control pills were banned. In 20 years, our population doubled. The government didn't have enough baby formula to feed them, enough schools for their education, or enough jobs to employ them. Women in Islamic countries are baby-making machines that must fulfill their husband's sexual desires on demand. We are told from childhood that we are half human. A new law in Iran takes misogyny and discrimination against women one step further. Other than abortion, the Islamic regime is criminalizing all forms of contraceptives. The government will pay incentives for making babies. After the revolution, the Islamists forced out half of the women in the workplace. Now, with this new law, they want to make sure to eliminate women from the public arena. But Iranian women have been fighting this brutal regime for the past 43 years. They have been jailed, whipped, tortured, and killed. However, they're still demanding their rights. Today, Sabah Kordafshari, a 20-year-old girl, is in jail for refusing to wear hijab. Golrokh Irai is jailed for speaking up against discrimination. The list goes on. Zainab Jalalian, Maryam Akbari Munfared, Sepide Ghelian, Sohela Hijab, Nahid Taghavi, Monire Arbashti, Yasaman Aryamanesh, and countless others. I'm here today on behalf of Iranian women to warn you to take fascism and the power of religious institutions seriously. The patriarchy wants to force us back to our homes and away from society, even in the United States of America in the 21st century. We have to stand united and support each other's struggles. We must fight, we must resist, And for sure, we shall overcome these dark days together, standing united. Now I will read the solidarity statement from Ocean Revolt for March 8, International Women's Day. We, a group of Iranian and Afghan women, particularly on the occasion of International Women's Day, stand together in support of the struggle of women who are rising up against the U.S. government's possible ban on abortion, the misogyny, and growing fascism in the United States. In our countries, Iran and Afghanistan, Islamic fundamentalism based on Sharia law enforce hijab, ban contraceptives, and impose other restrictive laws in order to force reproduction along with female slavery. We share your experience and we are in unity with your struggle against the patriarchal relations that seek to control women's bodies and their very lives. At the same time, they try to prevent women's participation in society in general and including for accusation of knowledge and engaging in political struggles and other activities. The powers that be want to be able to further strengthen their political power by suppressing and controlling society through these anti-women laws and ideas. Our struggle in Iran and Afghanistan is linked together with the struggle of women in the United States and women all around the world against patriarchy and all other forms of oppression and for bringing forward a just world and the emancipation of the whole of humanity. In solidarity.